Good morning, Rabbi Isai. So there was a little bit of a bidding war for the Amud Beis. And I was thinking about it, seriously. Fischl got outbid, but since it's his idea, I'm going to ask the other guy if he's Michael Fischl, so we could do Fischl. It's his idea, so it really should have first dibs. The other bid was greater than his bid, but not that much more. That wasn't that significant. So, I mean, whatever. The other bidder is Kalman from the Five Towns. So, whatever. We'll have to talk to Fischl and Kalman, figure it out. Today's what? What are you bidding on? We're bidding on the privilege of sponsoring Amud Beis. Saying today's Amud Beis is sponsored by Official Catering or Kalman from the Five Towns. That's the bid. And then you get to say however you want to say it. Anyways, today's sponsor is Joe Ben Aroch. I hope that's how you pronounce it. He's dedicating a full day. That's how we like it. This money goes, Rabbi Yisai, to increase Torah and Klal Yisrael. Dedication. His mother's yard side on Beis Tammuz, Lili Nishmas, Esther Gittel Bas Tzvi Zev Freda, or Freda. Tzvi Zev and Freda. Dear Rebelli, another one. This is another sponsor today. We cannot express, this is a very interesting one. It's an email, look at this, Avi. This is how I got the email. It's handwritten, but in an email. From Borough Park. We cannot express enough of our gratitude to you for being a Marbitz Torah in such a beautiful manner. Your sense of humor only adds to the enjoyment of the blot. Like you say many times, it is also Gashmius besides the true Ruchnius. Anyhow, I'm the guy that stated that turning the page, I started the turning the page saga. It's him. He's the guy. Baruch Hashem, today we're all on the same page, Daf. Hashem Yisbarach should give you and the entire Chabura Koyach to continue this Avodas HaKodesh with all the brachas min hashamayim. Thank you so much. And I'm sponsoring the shir, Beis Tammuz, Lilu Nishmas, Adoni Avi Moiri Rabbi, Harav Reb Yosef ben Harav Reb Shol Yecheskel Zechron Levracha, Shol Perlstein from Borough Park. Dear Rebelli, I write Rebelli instead of Eli against your wishes since the title is not for your covet, but rather the covet at Torah. We love Rabbi Pesach Waxman, right? You went to school, didn't you? All the chaver from Los Angeles. You know that I enjoy the shir and the chaver that you created, and although I need to leave the Zoom early as soon as my chavrus arrives, I complete the daf later on YouTube. I want to take issue on one of your comments today. You refer to those who collect tzedakah as schnorrers. I think that's a derogatory term used by many balabatim in a condescending way. I prefer the word nitzrachim. You prefer the word gabay tzedakah. They're both terrible. Yeah, we have to come up with a better word. I hope to come one morning to the Merkaz to join the Daf Live. Regards, Pesach. Hi, Yeshua. This is to Yeshua, not to me. Thank Hashem for uncertain times as these. Things are going remarkably smoothly. Enjoying the shir immensely. I listen to the shir first thing in the morning. P.S. Maybe a resolution to turn the Daf page issue could be that Rebelli switches off each time along with the use of a variety of metaphors like moving on to or continue to. In true Rebelli style, have a wonderful day. Josh Leon. Now, this is from my good friend, Rabbi Avram Ben Zev, not related to Yosef Ben Zev from Chicago. Today I felt that I must write to you, even though you've always been inundated with messages and cries for attention. You're a Magichi with great talents and abilities. Besides something to enjoy, to connect with Hashem and His Torah. It's truly wonderful to watch and participate in even with the Zoom setting. I just want to bring to your attention that the fact that many of us have come to the Western society being taught in a specific way. That is, we are trained to see mistakes and not success. A fantastic example is teaching math class, and out of 100 formulas, one guy gets something wrong. Everybody says he got it wrong. We have this happening all the time with emails you mentioned about missing a word or an idea or getting inundated messages. We, the students, have to try to focus on the success that you, the Magachir, and the tour guide, have to see that each and everyone is involved. You have to get everybody involved. If you wouldn't get so many responses, I would be afraid of you quitting in a very short time. As it is, I am pleased to see that you have a captive audience and will not be able to quit even if you wish to. So, as you get all those comments by way of emails, WhatsApps, SMS, or whatever, smile and realize that you're doing a great job. Shkoyach. Take a deep breath and keep it up. Much appreciated by me and my wife, I can assure you. P.S. I really don't need to have my name or message read to everyone, as this is only to validate you and your great efforts and work, bringing the daf page, omad folio, left, leave, side, surface, or whatever else they wish to call your attention to. How do you call it? Your Zoom friend, Avram Ben Zev Yishkoyach. All right. So we still don't have this result. We know who started it. He sponsored today. Then we have Avram Ben Zev that says not to pay attention to the guy that started it. Okay, great. Shkoyach. Rabbi Isai, another wild daf today. Daf Kuftes Omid Beis, all the way in the bottom. Hi man, the Tarki Chivyo. If somebody was bit by a snake, Leisei ubara de chamora chivarta. You take the fetus of a white donkey, v'lekare, and you tear it, v'loisvei levei, and you sit on top of it. So again, this is more of a ruchnius, like a kabbalistic kind of medicine. Again, Sefer HaRefuos was written by Shlomo HaMelech, was buried, and according to the Maharsha in Gittin Daf Samach Ches Omid Beis, the Gemara nevertheless printed it in different places, sprinkled different things. This might be one of the things that was in Sefer HaRefuos. But you have to make sure that the mother is not a treifa. So you open up and you do the sirchas, you start going through the heart and the lungs, and you make sure the tzomis hagidin and everything works well. If there's such a thing, I don't know, I guess. Ahu bar kosha de pumpediso, holding the kufyurim, the aleph, sponsored by myself. The pumpediso, the tarki chivya. There was a person, he was, what do you call it? Memuna lamelech. The king said he's in charge. I guess he was a well-off to-do guy. He was in Pumbedisa. The Tarki Chivya, snake bit him. He's Jewish. So he knew about this refuah, and he found out that there's 13 donkeys on one side of Pumbedisa, Karina Lekulu. He tore them all open, Vishtakul Treifa. But the mothers were all treifais, not good. Doesn't work. He found out there's one white donkey that's pregnant. We got to run there. At the Azli, until he got there, until he got there, a lion ate it. So everybody realized something's going on here. Something's fishy. To have 100% treifas is very rare. And the one that's on the other side of town that's eaten by a lion, what's going on here? Maybe he was bit by a rabbanon snake. In other words, he was bit by a snake because he was over on an Isser D'Rabbanan. The Lesle Asusa, like we learned in Avodah Zarah, there's no healing of a bite of a snake that comes because a person was over the Rabbanan. If a person, not because a person makes fun of the Rabbanan, he says, it's only the Rabbanan. I'm makbid on the Oiraisis. Then, if a snake bites a person on such an Aveira, there's no refuah. Even if there is a refuah, another snake will come and bite him. There's no way out of it. The chsiv, u'poiretz goder yishachenu nachash. The chachamim will make darim. A person will get bit by a snake. Omrulei in Rebbe, you're right, Abaya. That's exactly what happened. Because he was mizalzel in the Rabbanon. He said, I don't care about the Rabbanons. Not because a lot of people are over the Rabbanon. If he was over the Rabbanon because he had a taiva, okay, that happens. HaKadosh Baruch Hu will deal with him. But a person that says, the reason I'm doing this is because I don't care about Chachamim. They don't have a right to tell me what to do. It doesn't make sense to me. Muktzah, whatever. What? I'm not going to write on I can't touch the pen. Such a guy, he's pirates together. He doesn't care about Gedarim. Don't care about Gedarim, then Yishchenu Nachash, if the snake comes and bites him, there's no refuah. Says the Gemara, what happened was, this is the story that happened to this Bar Kosher de B'Medisa. The Chinach, Nafshi de Rav. So we just had the whole sugi of Rav and Shmuel. Rav was the Galadar, came from Eretz Yisrael, the whole thing. Galadar. Karna started up with him, he grew a horn. Shmuel started up with him, he didn't have any sons. Galadar. Gozer Rav Yitzchok Bar Bisno de Leko, de Limtaye Aso v'Gidmel Be'ilula Betavlo. So because Rav was nifter, Rav Yitzchok made a gzeira that year. For 1 year, he said, listen, we have to do something special to cover Rav. When you go to the wedding and you bring the hadassim and the leaves to go in front of the chazan, without drums, no bells and whistles, no bells. V'ozaliu amtiasi, here, it wasn't an avei ravi. What kind of taiva does a guy have to do bells? It's not a taiva. He says, I don't care about Rabbi Yitzchak. He's not going to tell me what to do. So he brought Amte Asa ve'gidim ve'lula betavlo. He did it with bells. Tarki chivyu umis. Comes along a snake, and it actually killed him. There's no way out of it. He tried to find a refuah with the donkeys and this. Nothing worked. Says the Gemara, pay attention to this Gemara for a second. Hayman de karche chivya. Snake wraps himself around him. Linchois lamaya. He should jump into the water. Snakes don't like water. Belischoiv de kula aresha. You should take a basket, put it next to the snake. You don't want to bother the snake, says Rashi. You bother him, he'll get mad, he'll bite you. Vilahat kiminei. And then you move the basket away from himself. V'chisolik ilovei. And when he's kind of away from you, lishadi lamaya, you throw into the water. V'lislik v'leisei. And then you go back, you go away, and you come out of the water, you run away. So, learning the Gemara, I understand, like, what are we dealing with here? Water, snake. So you give the snake a bang, you run away from it, you rip it off your head. Like, what is going on here? The whole sugya coming up. Snake goes into a person, he swallows it, goes into the whole body. It has a taiva for a woman. Like, what's going on here? So first thing is I go to the Marsha, don't find anything. Go to Ben Yada, he doesn't have anything for 3 daf. Baruch Hashem, so pshat. Hai man de karche chivya. This person who the snake wraps around him, the Yetzer Hara grabs him. Linchais lamaya, what do? So what's the point? The point is that these sugyas, there's the you read it regularly, but there's also deeper meanings. Perhaps this is a pshat. Linchais lamaya, ein mayim el Torah. You jump into the Torah, you have a problem with the Yetzer Hara, you start learning Torah. V'lischayv di kula areisha. And with the Torah, you're able to bury its head with the basket. You take it, you put it on the side, v'lahadik minei, and then you get away from it. You get away from it. Oh. But what happens is, Rabbi Isai, v'chisolik ilovei, we learn different pshat a little bit. What happens? You go, you start learning Torah, you start learning brachas, everything's going geschmack, you're in a groove, everything's going gevaldig, and then all of a sudden, Shabbos, you have a Siyam Shabbos, Daf Yud Aleph, COVID-19. The Yetzer Hara gets back into the game. He comes back, he climbs back on top. He gets you. So even if you miss, let's say, you missed 100 daf of COVID. You missed 100 daf. That's it. You're going to give up on Shas. We have the ability to come back. You jump back into Torah and you go weiter. I saw this mefurish, this whole pshat in Gaiva Delio. If you like it, we'll go weiter. V'lis like v'leisei. Yosef likes it. Yosef, what? You're going for the pshat. You're going for it for a little bit, huh? Huh? He loves the name of the book. It'll be Chiddush number 1 in Daf Aleph. Okay, fine. But I'm not gonna say weiter my pshatim over here. But you'll figure it out yourself. If you wanna take this pshat of the Yetzer Hara and insert it wherever you want in the coming sugya, it might help you out a little bit. Hayman de mikne boy chivya, the mekane bo chivya. The snake is jealous of him. It's mad at him, says Rashi. It's chasing him and following his smell. If he has a friend, a chavrusa maybe, likevei arbo garmidei, he should have his friend carry him 4 amos. You can go any way you want here. He carries his friend, picks him up, carries him 4. So then the snake loses the scent. That end. Viloi, lishvar, nigro. He should jump over a ditch of water. Viloi, and if that doesn't work, le'aber naharo. He should go over a whole river. Ubelelia. Let's say you got away from him, but be careful. He's still going to come after you. We're talking about some crazy snake. We had in Avodah Zarah also. The snake was so smart. He needed the wine, so he filled up the thing with water until the wine came. A whole maisa. These are, I don't know what, different types of snakes. You should put your bed on top of 4 barrels. You should be under the stars, says Rashi. Otherwise, the snake could jump from the roof, attack you from your ceiling. And take 4 cats. And and tie them to the 4 legs of the bed. V'leisei shachafe, and you take some twigs or anything that makes noise, says Rashi. V'lijdei hasam. So when the snake comes, makes noise, you're aware. The cats are aware of it. The cats attack the snake. They kill the snake. So cats could attack the snake. Human being has to run away and go crazy. So that's why I don't know. The chishama kali achlele. They hear it and they eat it. Hai mandirada basrei. Another pshat. Another thing you could do. If a snake chases you, lirid bay chalasa. You could run to where it's very sandy. The snakes don't like it. Says the Gemara, Hai idse the chazich. There's a woman who saw a snake. She wasn't sure if the snake was after her, had a taiva for her. If this thing happens, she should take off her clothing and see. If the snake goes to the clothing, he has a taiva for her. What could she do? Have relations in front of him. I saw also in that sefer. She could worship HaKadosh Baruch Hu, and then Iked Amri Kolchkin the Takev LeYitzri. If you do that, then the Yitzri goes even crazier. Kolchkin the Takev LeYitzri. Elo Tishko Memazio Meturfura. She should take some of her hair and some of her nails. V'tishdebe. Throw it at him. Gross him out. V'tema Dishtunano. Derech Noshim Li. Amanida. Again, gross him out. Like we saw, the hair and the nails are still part of the human being. So even if it gets destroyed, it still has some sort of connection to her. If a snake gets into a woman, says Rashi, goes all the way into the womb. Part the legs, put her on top of 2 barrels. That's the reach of the wine, the smell of the wine is going to entice the snake to come out. You take some fatty meat, again, a good smell, agumre, on top of coals. Everything's with the coals. Yesterday also we had, everything was meat on coals. That's the way it works. V'leisei agono, you make a good barbecue. V'leisei agono de tachale. And you give it, you put it together with a basket full of cress. Here's cress. V'chamro reichosana, and good smelling wine. V'lois v'hasam, and put it underneath her. V'litroikinu, and mix it bahade adode, the cress together with the wine. You make a geshmaka mixture. V'linkoid tzofso, you take like a pliers biyodei in her hand. V'chi merach reicha, and when the snake smells it, nafik v'asi comes out. V'lishkelei, and she grab it. V'likliye benura, and burn it up in the fire. Dilai. I don't know why the Gemara has to say this. Hadar lava, he'll come back in. Okay, yeah, of course. No. Eish, Torah, whatever, stick in whatever you want over here. So the Mishnah says, any food you eat, any drink you drink, that everybody drinks, right? Like my mom used to say, if you have a stomach ache, I don't know if this is true, Doc, drink Coke. It's very good for the stomach ache. What? That's what they say. Even Hayom as 40 years later, it still works. It'll destroy your stomach from other things, and the stomach will forget that. What?
The original Coca-Cola had cocaine in it, so it made everything better.
That was the original. What about today? Without the cocaine, it doesn't work. Fine. So you take this, let's say you take Coke. Now, nobody in the right mind is going to say, look, he must have a stomach ache. That's why he's drinking Coke. He's drinking Coke because everybody drinks Coke. So there's no problem with the refuah. So too, every other food, you're allowed to eat bread, even though it might calm your stomach down, might do this, might do that, but it's bread. So when it says, Kala oichlin, la suye mai, what does it come to include? La suye tchoy l'shinayim v'karshinim livnei ma'ayim. We had this in brachas. Tchoy l'shinayim. The spleen is really good to whiten the teeth, but it's terrible on the stomach. Karshinin are very good for the stomach, but very bad on the teeth. So I would think that if you're eating karshinin, you're not doing it because you're trying to help yourself. You're ruining your teeth. You're going to have black teeth. So why are you eating it? Obviously, it's not for food. Kamash malon, it is food. There are people that eat it. And you're not eating spleen because you want white teeth. You're not crazy. Yeah, you are crazy. People do not, those actors, they take all their teeth out and they put fake ones in, so they have perfect teeth. People do crazy things. They have white teeth. Even though it'll destroy your stomach. It's terrible for the Bnei Ma'ayim, it says in brachas. Nevertheless, no, that's considered food. That's a big chiddush. All drinks you could drink if it's a normal drink, besides made the color, we said. The tzlaf, we had all sugim brachas. Remember the tzlaf? Veg. Oh, tzlaf, nu. Where is it? We need a new computer, that's the shot. New mouse. We need a new mouse. New mouse, new computer, and a keyboard. Oh. Tzlaf. A caper berry. Together with vinegar. That is, so that drink, murdik a drink, you think that's a, who wants to drink something like that? No. It's a drink, and you're allowed to drink it on Shabbos. There are people, even bismanenu, I heard there are people, it's some sort of health thing. They drink it. Can you drink it on Shabbos? Is it a refuah drink, or is it a person's thirsty? Amalei Tanina. We learned. A human being doesn't drink it. If you drink it, you should know something's wrong with your humanity, maybe. So you don't drink it on Shabbos. You drink it, that means that you're doing some refuah. Chutz made the kolam. Besides the water from a palm tree. Tana chutz made the karim with a kuf, a kira, a stab. What does that mean? As the Gemara is going to say soon, it means this Egyptian beer called zeisum. Mandatona made the karim, shem doikrim es hamara. It stabs the gallbladder. Or mandama made the kolam. If you say the palm tree water, shiyotzim in shnei diklei, because it comes out of two palm trees. Mai made the kolam, Rabbi Bar Broina, tartit loi ike b'marava. There are two types of these trees. Benafke eina in a spring, the mayim and benayok. A spring comes out of them. I have no idea. I don't think anybody knows what's going on here. Kasa kama merape. The first cup of this stuff heals you. Idach, it starts the process. Idach mishalshal, the second one gives you a good diarrhea. In other words, it cleans out the whole system. V'idach kehechad da'ayli hachinafki. The third cup is going to be as clear as it came in. So in other words, it did its job. The stomach is completely clear, and then you see it just as the way it comes in, it goes out. It is a colonoscopy. It is, like, yeah. Baruch Hashem, I don't know exactly what you're talking about, but yeah. I heard about it. You drink the stuff, it like literally just takes, it empties out.
And it's liquid, it's clear. It's just like it went in clear, it comes out clear.
Right, like a colonoscopy. You see, they got colonoscopy from the Gemara. They learned it from here. Says the Gemara, Omar Ulo l'didi shosi shichud de bavloi. I drink Babylonian beer. Here it is, right here. They actually sell Adi Mazeh, Babylonian beer. Huh? It says on it. I don't know. It just says double IPA with mazza. It's the straining system. No, what is that? What is it? No. Oh, very hot. Yes, that makes a lot of sense. It's double IPA. So it's double the strength. Therefore, it could really destroy your stomach. Special something.
India Pale Ale.
What?
India Pale Ale.
India Pale Ale. Pale Ale.
Not as much as you, but you know.
Rabbi said this is no connection, but I did find this. I had to show you guys. I did find this at the end. This has like from 2 daf ago. They were selling.
But that's in England.
This is in England, but it's only $1. Like only a euro. What? €1. So yeah, in euro. No. Pomegranate doesn't look like this. Pomegranate was this much. They're not going to give you a glass jar of pomegranate for 99 cents. Huh? That's about right, yeah. Your son said it. In the night share, your son said it. And he said that a woman in pomegranates, so in the night share, Levi's son, Yaakov, said that, I guess he got it from you, the joke. Pomegranate sells the 10 pieces of bread for B'dikas Chametz. So a lady went to the counter, she says, I don't want this. I want whole wheat. You know?
They sell also the red brick, the 50-cent brick for $20.
Okay, but that's a brick. That's something valuable. Everybody has bread. Aren't we trying to get rid of everybody has bread and aluminum foil. If you don't have, you just take a little bit off your countertop. What do you need? Fine. This Babylonian IPA, the IPA is better than all this other stuff that they made the column that we're talking about. You didn't go to the bar for 40 days. But if you drank it within the last 40 days, it doesn't have the same effect. Rav Yosef Amar, Zeisum Hamitzri. This made the column is Egyptian beer. I had a picture, but it wasn't as gishmak. It had like Arabic. Zeisam HaMitzri, tilta sari, a third is barley. V'tilta kurtami, saffron. So we have a little bit of saffron here. Let's see where it is. Yeah, this is saffron right over here. You have a third saffron. V'tilta milcha, and third salt. Rav Papa Amar tilta chite. Rav Papa, by the way, he sold a lot of beer. He was a wealthy man. He sold beer, so he knew how to make beer. He says tilta chite. A third of it is wheat. V'tilta kurtame. And a third of it, you're right, is saffron. Basically, he's just switching the barley with the wheat. V'tilta milcha. V'simonech sisane. Sisane is a type of kli, says Rashi, but Rav Yosef's name has a samach in it. And sa'are is like a samach. Sisane, two samachs. And Rav Papa, which is a pei, has no connection, and he goes with chitim.
It's interesting, all of beer usually mentioned in the Gemara is date beer, not like wheat beer. Chametz date beer.
Yeah, is that a fact? I don't know. This is real chametz, IPA beer. V'shasilu bein dipcha latzarta, between Pesach and Shavuos, that's the time that this stuff works. The kamet mirapile. If a person is constipated, it loosens it up. V'derafe kametle. And if it's too loose, it hardens it up. V'kaisi karin, it says in the Mishnah, you take a cup of wine together with roots. My kaisi karin. Amar Rabbi Yochanan, Leisi matkal, thank you, Yeshua. Leisi matkal, zuzah, kuma, Alexandria. You take these three ingredients. Some of this, you take a zuz worth, like the weight of a zuz, like this Alexandria sap. Umatkil zuzo gavya gila. And you take some alum. Here, alum. They actually sell it with an OU, right over here. Alum, if you want. It's like it's a mineral. Umatkil zuzo kurkuma de rishka, and you take some saffron, the garden saffron, maybe a different variety. These two guys plus the Alexandria. Lishchakino b'hadi adadi, and you smear it together. Lizava, and for a zava. Now, what's very, very interesting, I don't recall such a thing. The Gemara is extremely busy in finding a remedy for a zava. In fact, the Gemara brings now 11 straight remedies. Here they go. L'zava, klasa b'chamra, v'loy me'akra. You take these three ingredients, the Alexandria sap, the saffron, and the alum, and you mix it with good wine or a donkey, like I said yesterday, v'loy me'akra. And it's not going to cause her to go sterile. Okay? Li'arkoina, but if a person has jaundice, trein b'shichra u'me'aker. You take two out of these three ingredients, Alexandria and the alum and the saffron, and you mix it with beer, but it's going to cause him to be sterile. He won't have children. And the Gemara is going to discuss, that's basically tomorrow's sugya, maybe all the way at the end of today's sugya, if we get to there. How are you allowed to do this? If you're going to become sterile from it, you're going to become an akar. You're allowed to drink it, you're not allowed to drink it. And if she doesn't have these three ingredients, leisi, tlozo, kapizi, shamchi, parsoi. So first of all, today's Amud Beis is sponsored by Fischl from Baltimore, Official Catering, and Kalman from the 5 towns. Then we'll have to sort it out. Now, this is going to make everybody depressed, I think. What's a kapizi? Anybody knows what a kapizi is? Kapizi. Anybody? Yeah, Rashi. Oh, you're able. No, that's something else. You're able to read the Rashi from there. Very nice. Now, I know, but like only 7 days ago, we had it in the Gemara that if a guy has a kav and he digs out a kapizi, he digs out 3/4 of the kav. We just had it. I'm just like chazara. Boy say chazara. Kapizi shamchi parsoi. You take these Persian onions in the amount of 3/4 of a kav. V'nishloik b'chamra v'nashke. This is all for a zava. And you cook it up in wine and then you give it to drink. V'neimela, and you have to say, that's part of it. Kum mezoivech, get up from your zavos. V'loi, you don't have these onions. Loisva parashas derachim. You put her on the crossroad. V'linketa kasa d'chamra b'yada, and you give her a cup of wine. So she thinks, oh, she's about to drink a cup of wine. She's all relaxed. V'leisei inish ma'achayra v'liv aso. Rabbi said, this reminds me of the story. I don't think I said this before. I definitely said it here once. But I have to tell you the Maisa again. It's a very, very good Maisa. It's not going to make it into the book though. So in Camp Maris, It is? In Camp Maris, where I used to go to Chaim Blin, and they have a camp. Yeah, okay. So in Camp Maris, they have what they call the dog houses, is the dormitory for the guys. So we had a good chaver in our dorm, and some guy, some genius came with an idea that we should all get up for Shachris. And in order to make an incentive, he said, listen, we should all get up, and whoever is the last one to get up, he has to, if he doesn't make it to Shachris, he has to buy everybody a pastrami sandwich. So it's a lot of money for yeshiva guys. So we all went to Shachris. There's one guy, a French guy in our room. I'm going to say his name just because it's Gishmak Amais. His name is Remy Mensen. I hope he one day hears it, and I haven't seen the guy in many, many years. He said, huh? I don't know. Remy Mensen, he's French. And he said, a blonde guy from France, I haven't seen him in such a long time. So he says, I'm not part of the deal. Not part of the deal. What do you mean you're not part? You're in our room. I'm not part of the deal. So I had to stick a little tine on him. So this is going on for a while, a couple of days, this, that. One day, I get up for Shachris, and I go to the Beis Medrash, and there are a couple of wild, like horses that escaped from a stable. And they're eating grass in front of the Beis Medrash of Camp Mars. So all the normal guys, they just looked and they kept on going. But, I decided that it's time to grab one of these horses. I grab the horse, and I start walking towards the dog houses. And everybody's coming to Shachris, and they see Stefansky with a horse. It makes sense. Stefansky, yeah, fine. I get to the dog house, and I open up the door, and I start bringing the horse into the dorm. Get him in. He doesn't want to get in. I had to give him a few gazunta whacks. He finally gets in. He felt trapped. There was like beds and everything. And I bring him all the way over to Remy Mensen, and I put his mouth right over Remy Mensen's nose. He was 2 inches away from this guy. And I go, Remy, look who's here for you. And he's going, huh? And he opens up his eyes, and he sees the horse with its teeth, and it's going, nah. He shook, and he screamed. It was the craziest. I've never seen somebody so scared in my life. It was gewaldic. I said, next time I want you to come to Shachris, Remy, and I had to back the horse out, and that was that. Remy, I hope you moichel me. So anyway, you do something similar to this lady. She's with a cup of wine, and she's about to drink the wine, and what do? You come from behind and you scare her. Boo! Enough of this zava. Vilay, if you don't have a crossroad or somebody crazy that's going to scare her, leise buna, take a fistful, the chamoina of cumin, ubuna, the marika and saffron, ubuna, the shablita, and fenugreek. You know what fenugreek is, right? That we had yesterday. Here, just in case you forgot what it looks like. This yesterday, no, this is not kuzbro. This is fenugreek. Yesterday we had the stems of the fenugreek. Today it's the real deal. So then you cook it up in wine and you give her to drink. And if you don't have it, you take 60 seals of clay. Remember again, we had this. When you want to catch an ant and you put it in a tube and you seal it 60 times. There's something about sealing and the seals. 60 seals over there. We said it. The Marsha I think says it's lavdafka. It's a guzma. 60 seals of clay. Where, over there? Wow, Laibi. Oh. Laibi says, Rashi says it over there, that's a guzma. Beautiful, because he's doing chazara. He's in the koilel, in our koilel of chazara, chabura shas. He do a lot of chazaras, and they just had a faher on from beginning of brachas all the way till here. What is that, 160 daf? 120 daf at the time. Viloi, laisi pashtino. You take this herb that's mispashet. Sorry. V'l'shafi, and you smear it. V'leimela kumezoivach. V'loi, leisi pashtino. You take this herb that spreads out, l'tpashet. V'lishloik b'chamra, and you boil it up in wine. V'lishafi, and you smear it. V'leimela kumezoivach. V'loi, and if that doesn't work, leisi charnuga, the hiksa, some sort of thorn bush, remisa from Rome. V'likle, and you burn it. V'lizba b'shachake, the kitono b'kaita. You put it inside these linen rags, if it's in the summer, bekaito, ubeshachak amar, and wool rags, guvna besivsa, in the winters, viloi, and if you don't have these rags, cotton wool, gufna, cotton wool, okay, viloi lichrei sheva beire, you should dig 7 holes, vilikle behu shabishto yaldad arla, you should take a young vine, and you cook it up, the arla, young. V'linkita kasa the chamer b'yad, and she should hold on to a glass of wine. V'lukma maha, and she should stand up on top of one of the holes. V'lois v'aha, and she should stand on the next one. V'loikma maha v'lois v'aha. Stand up, sit down. Bakol chada v'chada, on each hole and hole. Leimala kum ezoivech. V'ilai, you don't have holes. You don't have these vines, or it didn't work. Leisei smida, you should take this fine flour. V'leischa mipalga tatoi, and you smear it on the bottom half of her body. V'leimala kum mezoivech. Get up from your zavos. Viloi. Does anybody remember something like this? 11 in a row. Viloi. Leisi be'aso dinamisa. Now this, a lot of people have, and they have it laying around a lot. Ostrich eggs. Vilikle. I told you I was zoicha once here in Yerushalayim, in the zoo. My kids and I, we went to the zoo, and we saw an ostrich lay an egg, and then the ostrich turned around and ate its own egg. All there, on video. What?
In Africa, they make the lambs.
Yeah. 100, I don't know what it was. It looked like an ostrich, and acting like an ostrich. It looked like an egg, yeah. I saw it. You thought it's something. No, it popped open, yellow, white came out, and then started eating it. Time out. And you cook it up. And you put it in this rag, in the linen rag in the summer. Cotton wool, Rabbi said, don't just say wool. Besivsa in the winter. Vilai. And if you don't have all that, you don't have an ostrich egg, liftach lo chaviso de charmel shma. You should open up a barrel of wine in her name, says Rashi, and she should drink a lot of it all the time. Vilai. If that doesn't work, linkat zarza the mishtakach bekufta. Ooh, this is huge. Take a grain of barley that you find in the dung, in the waste of a white mule, the chudana chivara, mule white. If she holds on to this barley for one day, paska trei yoima, it's going to stop for 2 days. And if she holds on to this barley for 2 days, paska tlasa yoima, then she'll stop for 3 days. And if she holds on to the barley for 3 full days, paska la'olam, then this is going to stop forever and ever. If a person has jaundice, should take 2 out of the 3, which is, again, the Alexander, salve, the alum, and the saffron, and mix it with beer, ume'aker. But if a person has jaundice and wants to get rid of the jaundice, you just know he'll never have children again. Viloi. And if this doesn't work, or he doesn't have it, or he doesn't want to be sterile, he should take the head of a fish, and he should cook it in beer, and he should drink it. And if it doesn't work, or he doesn't have it, he should take, I have the picture of this, Baruch Hashem, he should take locust juice. Here's locust juice. Maybe not this part. Locust juice. It's not as geschmack when you see what's underneath. It says 100% oranges. Fine, take locust juice. It's really good stuff, locust juice. And if you don't have it, in your makola, they don't sell locust juice. The nikre. You should take the juice of a small bird called nikre. That is even more available. You should go into the bathhouse, and if the bathhouse is not available, and he should smear this juice, this small bird nikre juice all over him. Gets rid of jaundice. Rabbi said, this Shlomo HaMelech said, this is not he wrote this, according to Marsha, he wrote all this. You should stand between, the bathhouse has heat, you stand between an oven and a wall.
I've actually seen that they pictures of people with hepatitis.
Yeah.
I've seen it.
I saw it also. My mother did it. I just looked it up yesterday. It doesn't work, I don't think. I looked it up. Look it up again. Yeah, but what happens is they snap the pigeon. My mother did it, and I was asking her questions about it. She said, Mom, the guy was healed. They take pigeons. No, she did it for my aunt that had hepatitis. You take you take the pigeon and you put it on the thing, and the pigeon dies. But it only dies if you grab it by the neck and you squeeze the neck really hard and you go like this. I'm serious. So if you go like this, I want to see a video of you taking a pigeon, put it like this, and it dies. I want to see that. Until the pigeon stops dying. I would like to see it. I Googled it yesterday, and it said that in Egypt they do it, and the health ministry went nuts about it, and they want to stop it. It's mamash tzar v'lechaim. They're killing pigeons for no reason. It's only if they snap the neck, the whole thing. There's no scientific proof, and the person never got healed. Okay, we got to see it. It was a whole thing. When I lived in Bnei Brak, people were very into this. Not only that, I remember, I'm not joking, people would sneak pigeons into the hospital. Imagine. They're like, the doctors, what are you doing? It's a pia locha, you have to do it. It's pikuach nefesh, sneaking a whole box, making all this noise going. It wouldn't happen today, I guess. All the cleanliness and all, wow. Can you imagine? Fine. You want to make this jaundice patient that I said. That I definitely said between the oven and the wall for the heat. You want to heat up this guy. You want to make him really hot so he sweats it out. You should take his own sheet and wrap him up with his own sheet. There's something about a sheet. It's not a sheet. It's his sheet. He had jaundice. He did this trick with the sheet, vitasi, and he was healed. And if he doesn't have a sheet, he's sleeping on the floor. Lacy, tloso, kepizi, tamre, parsioso. Again, you take the 3/4 of the kav, but this is 3 kapize. 3 times that. Tamre, parsioso, the Persian dates, utlasa, kepize, the kira, the nishtrufe, it's like the wax that comes out of a honeycomb. Utlasa, kepize, ahalo, toilona. Toilona is red, so you take red aloe. And then you boil it up in beer and you drink it. Now I understand why it doesn't work today. What beer? Heineken, Budweiser, or Egyptian beer, Babylonian beer, IPA, low IPA, Corona beer, yeah. Viloi, Lacey, Ila Bar Chamro. Oh, so for the final picture of today, such a cutie. You take this little guy, a baby donkey, a fowl, call it whatever you want, from Bnei Brak. First, you shave off the middle part of the sick person's head. And take a little blood from the forehead of the donkey. And put it on the patient's head. Be very careful in your eyes. That blood could blind the person. Take a ram. A ram said, the manach bekivsha, that was pickled. A pickled ram head. If you have that laying around, you should use that. Cook it up in beer and drink it. Viloi. Lacy davar acher. You see, the Gemara is also concerned not to say the word pig. The Gemara, instead of saying pig, the Gemara says davar acher. Chutrana, speckled pig. Yeah. Oh, you mean Rashi says chazir? Yeah, but he has to explain what davar acher is. Of course he has to explain it. Shkoyach. He says Rashi said chazir. Yeah, because the Gemara says davar acher. You're not going to know what it is. Davar acher. Maybe it's avodah zara. Maybe I don't know what. Davar acher. Chutrana. Rashi says talu b'char barburois menumar, like a leopard. Velekare, and you tear it open. Veloisve alibe, you should sit on its heart. Viloi. Leisei karti, you should take a leak. Mechabsusa de mishre, from the middle of the rose. Ahutayi the choshbe. There was an Arab, like a guy. The Gemara always talks about the taya, that they knew about refuas and stuff. They knew different things. Ahutayi the choshbe, he had jaundice. He told his gardener, I owe you money. Listen, shkoil glimoi, you take my coat. Vahavli meishar de karti. You give me leek, I give you my coat. He gave him leek and he ate it. Now that it's your coat, lend it back to me. I'll sleep in a little bit. So he wrapped himself up with it and he went to sleep. When he heated himself up and he woke up, nafal purta mine, the coat started falling apart from all the sweat and all the heat. Rabbi said, I guess we could stop here. It's a new sugya about saras, whether you're allowed to drink this potent solution or not. Rabbi said, have a wonderful day. We'll see you Be'ez Hashem tomorrow.